welcome to the weekly upload from Bent Pixels. It's Sam, back again to cover the news of the week. It is May 17th, 2017, and we have a lot of stuff to get through today, but I'm still going to try and keep it to be a shorter episode than usual. We're working on different formats, different approaches for what we can do to continue to bring great information to you, great information to our community members, and keep you updated on the happenings within digital video. I know Google I.O. was happening or is happening as we speak. Twitch did a Mr. Rogers stream starting on May 15th. I don't know if they're through it or not, or if they're still going through. I think there's like over 400 episodes of that show, and maybe for a future episode I'll bring out my little Mr. Rogers mug, because I know everybody wants to see that. And some of my favorite quotables that are on that mug. A lot of things happening in entertainment. So we're going to run through some stories that we have to do. What do we got today? On YouTube, Twitch, and an important Facebook story about regulating the news feed. So we're going to go through all that. But the first thing that I want to open with is thank you. Thank you so much for watching us so far, and for dropping comments and for offering suggestions for stories. There have been a handful of you that have really been great, direct contributors to what we've been up to, but we need your help. We need your help in order to grow. And so what I would ask is, if you enjoy seeing this face, you like the tenor of my voice, and you enjoy getting a brief rundown of the news of the day, please share this video around. Share it, give it a like, make sure to drop a comment. We're looking for suggestions. We're looking to change formats, see what's most effective. Are we going to talk about tips that can help you with your YouTube or Facebook or even Twitch presence? Are we going to talk about more industry-related stuff? Do you want op-ed? Do you want more guests? Obviously, we're going to have more guests. But let us know, please, because we're going to be continuing to grow this thing and do even more as we move forward. But thanks again for joining us for the weekly upload. So without further ado, we're just going to jump into our stories. The first thing that I actually want to open with is about unity, togetherness, hands helping hands, little heart. I don't ever know how to do this. I think it's like that, heart emojis. Twitch is launching what they're calling their Twitch Unity Initiative, and it's going to be happening, kicking off May 26th on the platform. It's a bid to talk about inclusivity, diversity, welcoming people of different races, genders, sexual orientations, just different nationalities. They want to bring everybody in, because Twitch is a platform that, like all social video, it lives and dies by its audience having a place to go and talk about and feel supported and feel like things are positive, even if you're in the middle of a heated discussion. So I like this idea. This is a story from Tube Filter, and they're starting May 26th. They will launch a new emote, which is essentially, if you don't know, the parlance for emojis, as well as downloadable channel graphics for creators, and an exclusive t-shirt that bears the Twitch Unity logo and the hands having the little heart on them as well. All of Twitch's proceeds from those t-shirt sales will go to Amnesty International. And then funds will be raised during a 3-hour dance-a-thon on May 26th, hosted by a Just Dance pro. And if you've never played Just Dance, I mean, it's pretty popular. You're essentially in front of the camera for the system, and you're mimicking the movements, and it scores you based on your accuracy. I gotta let you know that I'm a killer when it comes to that game. Killer as in killer dance moves. So make sure that you remember that next time you're doing a Just Dance party, that if I was there, I'd be killing it. They're going to be having Little Shia, who is going to be hosting that dance party. I've been a part of some streams for Geek and Sundry before, where they do Just Dance and a lot of charitable stuff. And so I'm really happy to see more things happening that are, inclusive-minded, especially on the Twitch platform, which has all these different verticals that they're trying to break out. Like we've been speaking about the past couple weeks on the show, mainly about going past gaming, doing stuff like lifestyle and beauty and other types of topics. So I'm excited to see that. So tune into that. Let us know what you think. And Speaking of YouTube, where you might also be watching this, obviously we post this up on Facebook. We're going to be going back live as soon as possible, but the archives for everything, if you've missed any news stories that we've covered in the weekly upload, you can find on the Bent Pixels YouTube page. So YouTube's streaming TV service launched about a month ago. It had a 39 channel range at first, but this is just a follow-up to a previous story. They are definitely adding more channels. 7 more cable networks, including AMC, BBC America, and Telemundo, to its basic $35 per month package. Again, this is just reaffirming that as people saw the positivity, larger networks that integrating with a streaming service like YouTube or like Twitch, previously I'd mentioned Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood apparently had some content streaming. We also talked about another, the Power Rangers, like 36-hour stream or something. They have a ridiculous amount of content that they can go through. A lot of traditional outlets and broadcasters are seeing the advantage of doing some of these bundle packages with these digital platforms. I mean, I'm recording on a mobile device right now. Most people watch, their content on mobile. That's open secret at this point. So it's all about getting the eyeballs from a younger generation or a different subset of people that are now growing up where they're not sitting in front of the traditional set-top box to watch things. I think it's also interesting because this still isn't quite on parity with traditional TV or cable packages. There's still an amount of stuff that falls through the cracks. I guess the question would be, does this also help exposure rate for certain types of networks? I'm mainly speaking of like BBC America. I don't know what our fans' viewing habits are. Let us know about any other. Do you watch the Sundance channel? Do you really like IFC? Is having USA on the package or not a make or break for you? But BBC America has some like really, really interesting programming, and it's not just localizations of their British, channel programming. I think Touch of Cloth is just BBC, but BBC America also, I think, broadcasts some of those other programming. Touch of Cloth is this really funny, the old airplane movies, David Zucker. They kind of have that kind of parodic tone. So if you're into that kind of comedy, I definitely recommend checking out A Touch of Cloth. They usually run those series for like 6 episodes anyway, so I don't even know if that show is still actively on air, but when I got a chance to watch it, it was pretty great. So does that make you want to get into the YouTube TV thing? Is that the straw that broke the camel's back on a purchasing decision for you? I know we talked about previously on this program the things that people need in order to go from traditional cable, pulling the plug, then going into a service like this. Has that reached the tipping point for you yet? Are you willing to dump your cable service, or is your cable service bundled up with your internet and it's sort of be unavoidable for you? Let us know in the comments below, either on Facebook or on YouTube. And speaking of Facebook, our final story for today has to do entirely with your newsfeed. They were announcing today a series of newsfeed tweaks that is going to further decrease the reach and prevalence of quote-unquote clickbait, fake news on your social networks. This comes after a big update last year, you remember, that restricted the spread of clickbait and punished publishers who primarily used misleading tactics in order to get their articles read from Facebook service. You know that when you are on mobile and you're thumbing through your feed, that when you click into a news source, that it sort of keeps you in the Facebook app. There's a framing device that just sort of bops you in and out. In the same way that when you click on a video, say like this one that you're watching right now, that you want to keep running in the background of your feed, that they'll have a little picture in a picture in the bottom. Again, a lot of prevalence there for audio content. And so with fake news or the clickbait and stuff like that that's happening, they're looking more towards filters and processes that email has done. It does this similarly to how email spams filters by having hundreds of thousands of individual manual users have a human team consider, if the headline exaggerates the details of a story, separately if the headline withholds information. Things like algorithms and how videos get served to you, either in a related or suggested sense, has always been at the forefront of social video. And even though this has to do mainly with news articles, I think this also has to do with video as well. We remember that in YouTube parlance, that having misleading metadata, tags, titles, description, thumbnail even, that purports to have something in your video that is not in your video, I mean, that's major clickbait. I see a lot of that happening with compilation videos where they will use a image that just does not show up in the video whatsoever. I remember in the past it used to be you'd comb through the whole video just to look for a preview of that clip that you saw in the thumbnail. And of course, when you didn't see it there, it was like thumb down, thumb down, thumb down. And now we're finding more and more elegant ways of people to give feedback to make sure that these things don't happen. You're essentially teaching the machine learning of your news feed what is good and what isn't. And we've seen the power of Facebook's algorithm and who you like and who you talk to, making or breaking the restriction of a video's spread. So something really important to keep in mind as this little tip for creators. As you're doing your stuff on Facebook, we know from personal experience with Ben Pixels and some of our other friends in the space that they can be especially picky when it comes to policing for different rights management, making sure you own your IP, making sure that you have the proper authority to release that video and to monetize it, having those pre-roll, mid-roll ads running on your content. So I would also do even bigger caution on Facebook. You would already do it on YouTube, even though it's a little bit more lax. Definitely watch out for that on Facebook, because it might make the difference between your video getting to a higher popularity or a lower popularity just because you're being accurate or inaccurate in what you're presenting. So follow the golden rule, treat others as you would want to treat yourself, and tell the truth. So make sure to practice what you preach. Anyway, that will be it for us for the weekly upload. Again, we're going to be going through some really great changes to our formats and trying to get an even more exciting content to you guys. And we're still doing it every single week, every single Wednesday. If that changes for any given reason, you'll hear about it first on the Facebook page that you're likely watching this on or have discovered us. So make sure that others discover us as well. Share the page. We're always posting news stories and things that you can use, information that's pertinent to you, and updates about our Ben Pixels partners, our great creators that we have within our network. So let us know what you think. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Thanks again so much for all your support. It's been great to see the slow growth of what we've been doing, and we just can't wait to do more. So as always, this weekly upload has been downloaded. See you next week.